Good morning, class. This is Mr. Bean here, and we're going to do Astrophysics lesson 13.4, Atomic Spectra. And what this is the birth of astrophysics. So here's our assignment over here. It's 13.4 Atomic Spectra. I'll have a YouTube link here that you should do simultaneously. And so here we're going to try to introduce a little bit about quantum mechanics and some stuff about the atom, kind of put them together from what we did last class, which was the Bohr atom. All right, so anyways, here's what we got here. So here we have a picture of the sun, telescope, and we have this diffraction grating. So the telescope is pointed at the sun here, and we take this diffraction grating or spectroscope diffraction grating and put it right here, and lo and behold, this is what we see here. This is all these bunch of lines here, and this is from looking at the sun. And this is called this is called spectroscopy, okay? Spectral lines here, and this is the sun. And from this right here, they were able to determine this sequence. So from in here, they found this sequence here, and they didn't quite know what to make of it. Okay. Meanwhile, in the lab, okay, remember now, this is 1860 to 1900. In the lab here, they had this unknown gas. It had some special properties. It seemed to make things float, okay? So using a spectroscope, okay, this is a spectroscope here, and so kind of like this, except this is a little bit fancy here. Here's a spectroscope. They saw these lines here, okay? And they said, wow, they said, kind of looks like the lines we saw from Helios, the sun. So here is Helios, these spectral lines, and they saw this. And from the laboratory, they saw this same spectral lines here. So since the sun was called Helios, they said, hey, let's call it helium. So essentially, this is the birth of astrophysics. And from last class, we saw that hydrogen had these four lines here. This was 650. What was this? This is about 486. This was what, about 434. And this was 410. That's from last class. Okay. All right. So every element on the periodic table has its own unique spectral lines. Okay, I like to say barcode or its own DNA, every element. Okay, so this will be the end of part one. So for part two, what I want to have you do here is I want you to click on this link. Where's it? Yeah, there's a link right here, and it's going to pull up this periodic table here. Let me go ahead and slide it over here for us and make it a little bit smaller here so we can kind of see what's going on here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here, about 80%. And we'll slide it here, and we'll slide it here, like that. Okay, and let's make it maybe 70% here. Okay, all right, so here we have this element here, and now remember from the periodic table, this is group 1, group 2, group 3, all the way to group 18. So everything's grouped up here in this periodic table. And so when you click on this link, this comes up here, okay? And so example, so from group 1, we want to identify the element that produces these spectral lines here. So this is group 1 right here, and let's try this link right here. So I click on it, I see that these are the spectral lines, and basically it's a matching game. So there's a red here, red, there's this like teal, and 2 here. So I'm going to say that this is hydrogen. So the answer for this is hydrogen. Okay, this is hydrogen. So on Socrative, there's about 7 of these I want you to do. There's a couple from group 1, some from group 2. There's one from like group, I think 11 here, and one from group 18. So you want to answer those questions on Socratic. That will be part 2. It's about 50% of this assignment. The next one here is called the unknown flame test. Now this is stuff that we would have done in class if we were in class. But anyways, so here we have this flame test here. So let me go ahead, let's slide this over a little bit. Okay, let me click on this here. Okay, so here we have lithium, strontium, sodium, copper, and potassium. So if they're on fire, they have these colors here. Okay, so keeping that in mind here, here we have these colors here, and here's this unknown flame color. And this is the actual spectral lines here that came from this. Okay, so take a look at this, and based on what you know about these, I want you to identify what the element is, and also I want you to explain how you determined your answer below in the yellow here. All right, that'll be it. This will be our assignment. This will be one of 2 assignments for this week. I'll have another one up a little bit later this week. All right, you guys, take care, peace out, and go ahead and stop the video.